It's 1 o'clock, time for the Joy Business Report. Our headlines this afternoon: World Bank expresses commitment to fast-track discussions for release of $250 million support for Financial Stability Fund. And Securities and Exchange Commission announces plans to migrate its operations to a new framework to help investors identify risk in the capital market. Also, former board chairman of the Volta River Authority pushes for least cost procurement competitive tender regime to curb inefficiencies in the power sector. My name is Beverly Broom. We settle for the details now. The World Bank is promising to fast-track discussions to ensure that the $250 million support for the Financial Stability Fund is released on time. It's coming after government completed the framework that will support the fund, which will take off from July this year. However, the World Bank is yet to release its $250 million seed support for the fund. This is because the Finance Ministry is yet to complete negotiations with the bank on the actions needed before the funds are released. Pierre-Frank Laporte is the World Bank Country Director.
The financial sector support project, we're making progress. We have received the first draft of a government strategy to tackle all these issues around the financial sector. You know, how are they going to intervene? What kind of governance framework there will be? How will the fund operate, the Financial Stability Fund? What will be the cost? How will you treat banks as domestic banks, foreign-owned banks? So all these things need to be resolved and agreed with us. And once this is in place, I think we can go forward. But it's on the principle, we're ready to support, but we need government to finalize that plan urgently.
On the Financial Stability Fund, I mean, from the ministry's proposal, they were hoping that all other things being equal, they could take off from July this year. But that would also be critical, that the bank's support come in time. Are we hoping that this support will come in time? If government, you are satisfied with the proposals on the table?
That's our hope. But let's be fair. I mean, the faster it comes, the better. We cannot go to our board if this thing is not clear, because we need to know where we're putting our money and if we're putting our money in the right place and in the right way.
You heard the World Bank Country Director Pierre-Frank Laporte. Now, British financial economist and lecturer at the Aston University in Birmingham, Dr. Saeed Muntaka Kadri has described banks in Ghana as too profitable, hence the need for the position of a bank tax to generate more revenue for the government. According to him, the bank tax will provide the country a sustained source of revenue and act as a catalyst for banks to reduce reliance on short-term funding. Speaking to Joy Business at an event organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs, Dr. Kadri proposed a tax of 2% on banks' investment in treasury instruments.
It's not normal at all. Typically, a bank should invest, their money should be invested like 65 to 70% into loans. Only 15 to 20% should be into investments. But we see, particularly in big Ghanaian banks, that their investments are 2 or 3 times more than the loans. So what can be done? I propose that there should be some kind of tax on banks that could be imposed on the investment into treasuries, and that should be short term. And of course, it's because government borrows from the banks.
Dr. Saeed Mukhtar Kadir is a financial economist and entrepreneurship lecturer at the Aston University in Birmingham, UK. We do some more stories now, and the Securities and Exchange Commission says efforts to bring back confidence to the capital market is on course and yielding some results. This follows recent happenings in the economy which has slowed down investor confidence. Speaking to journalists, Head of Communications and External Affairs, Dr. Godwin Ansa, said the SEC is migrating to a new framework to help investors identify risk in the capital market.
We have a robust education program coming up later in the year, so this is a key thing that we do. Again, the SEC's role on the Financial Stability Council is also another measure to ensure that there are no loopholes which miscreants can actually take advantage of. Now, let me also point to the fact that we are also migrating to a new risk-based framework which will help the SEC proactively identify and deal with risk issues that may potentially affect investors.
Now, a former board chairman of the Volta River Authority, VRA, Kweku Awatri, is calling for a least cost procurement competitive tender regime to curb the inefficiencies in the power sector. According to him, that's the only solution to address the lingering issues bordering the sector's efficiency and sustainability. His comment is coming at a time the independent power producers have resolved to give the government up to June 30, 2023 to pay a minimum of 30% of the outstanding energy debt, else will not guarantee the continued generation of electricity. Reacting to the development on the Super Morning Show, Mr. Awatri said government would have to be pragmatic about its future power contracts.
It's really very much about having the political will and institutional capacity to follow through on what we know we need to do. So government knows what to do. We've got to get our tariffs right. We've got to cover the cost of production, ECG. We've got to very quickly get into a least cost procurement competitive tender regime. If we don't do that, we will always get into these sort of emergency situations where we're scrambling to bring in power. We get them at terms that are not necessarily favorable to us.
Now, the Accra West region of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG Limited, has recovered over 675,000 cedis from some customers so far from its revenue mobilization exercise between May 26 and June 2, 2023. 94 customers were found to have engaged in various forms of illegalities and will be made to face prosecution. Public Relations Officer of ECG Accra West Region, Fred Bambil Johnson, tells Joy Business it has deployed technology to detect illegalities.
For these customers who have been identified as engaging in illegalities, we have disconnected power to them. We have surcharged them for the electricity they used, and even there's a penalty fee they have to pay for the illegality they've engaged in. And then we've also submitted the details to our legal team that will initiate prosecution against them. As a company, what we're also doing now is that to tackle this menace of illegalities, we are turning to technology. So there are some meters we've released on pilot basis. And what these meters do for us is that anytime there's any interference or tampering of any sort from any customer, a signal is sent to the officers, and we're able to pick out that meter and do some further investigations.
Moving on, the Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei-Duchum, has called for the inclusion of science, technology, engineering and mathematics in the development of technical and vocational training. According to him, this will help the students to acquire technological innovations in readiness for the current job market. He's been speaking at the launch of the EU-Ghana Pact for Skills project.
In the fourth industrial revolution, the TVET of yesteryears is not the TVET that will transform our nation. The intersection between TVET and STEM is something that we need to be mindful of and do a better job at. Industry 4.0, training the youth to compete in the new industries emerging, that means that we have to also strengthen their knowledge in STEM, right from the junior high school, primary school, junior high school through high school, so that TVET become more meaningful to them. We want TVET of innovation.
Now, for your money tip on Money Lab, let's now hear from Kofi Poli, Chief Operations Officer of People's Pensions Trust, as he sheds light on why you need a pension plan.
Hello, welcome to Money Lab. My name is Kofi Poli, Chief Operations Officer of People's Pension Trusts. We continue our pension tidbits on Money Lab. In our previous episode, we gave one of the reasons for having a pension as rising cost of living. Today, we are going to look at the next two. The other is lack of family support. What it means is that in our old age, we may not have immediate family or extended family to support us financially. And therefore, there's a need for us to plan for our financial security in our old age. Thank you once again for being with us, and hope to see you in our next episode.
That's the end of the Joy Business Report, brought to you by EcoBank, your Pan-African bank. Do follow us on all our social media pages, including LinkedIn. Do you receive your salary in an account that gives you more? Is your salary in the right account? No worries, we are here to help. Just open an EcoBank salary account and enjoy amazing benefits like free life insurance, which provides cover for death, permanent total disability, critical illness, hospitalization, temporal disability, and retrenchment. With the EcoBank salary account, you can enjoy the ability to save as you spend, free debit card, access to loans, and a lot more. And the best part is you stand the chance to win double your salary in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. So open an EcoBank salary account and enjoy all these benefits that comes with it. For inquiries on the EcoBank Double Salary Promotion Reloaded and the EcoBank salary account, call EcoBank toll free on 0800 003225. Please note that EcoBank will never call you for your Ghana card information or mobile app PIN or ask you to pay money before your account is credited as a winner in this promotion. The only call you will receive is to inform you that you have won in this promotion and your account has been credited. You are not required to pay money in this promotion to receive your prize. When in doubt, visit our branches. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. My name is Beverly Broom. Enjoy the rest of our programs.